It looks like Ignition Model is going full head on to the 64 scale diecast line. Now, some of us old school Ignition Model collectors have already seen diecast 64 scale from Ignition Model. However, it was then turned into 64 scale resin models, which was almost $100 price point. And then it went away for a long period of time, almost about a year, I want to say. And now it's finally back. And not only is it back, but it's back at a lower price point. The older diecast that Ignition Model used to have started off at about $35, and then it went up into the $40 price range. However, in this set that's coming out lately, you're looking at about the $25 price range. That's going to be for the diecast, the base, and an acrylic case for presentation. But let's talk about the different setups that have released as a pre-order so far. So the first two that came out are going to be two R34 Skylines, and then the next two set that's actually on pre-order right now is going to be the Toyota Supra Mark IVs. For the R34, you're going to have the CRS Omori factory version, which is pretty staple in the diecast community. A lot of other brands have already made this setup, but it is very nice to see Ignition Model coming out with it. Of course, Ignition Model has done this in an 18 scale. They've probably done it in a 43 scale in the past as well. And way back in the day when Ignition Model first started, they actually did release this type of setup. The other one that they are releasing is a silver version with some body decals, body striping, but I don't think it's fair to call this a Z-tune, because if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not a Skyline expert, but this is more, these body stripes are more for the R-tune setup. So it's kind of weird to see this on a Z-tune and not an R-tune. Or maybe they should have just called it an R-tune from the get-go, I'm not sure, but it is a little bit confusing. Now, they have released this style in 64 scale resin, an 18 scale as well back in the day, and a regular silver version back in the day in 64 scale as well. But I think when it comes to the R34, we've seen a lot of different versions of the diecast already, so let's move on to the next two. And if you guys are interested in pre-ordering any of these, I'll be sure to put a link down in the description below. But let's move on to the Toyota Supras that just announced a couple of weeks ago. These are going to be two brand new pieces. This is going to be the Max Orido setup, the blue metallic version with the big Wed Sport decal on the side, and the red version. The cool thing about the blue one is I don't think you have ever seen the blue metallic version in a 64 scale from any brand ever. So it's pretty cool to see that from Ignition Model. Ignition Model and Max Orido always doing a collaboration together. It's probably been so long. I even have a 12 scale in the back behind me, as you can see from back in the day. The details are very nice here. Hopefully the quality and presentation is going to be just as good. And then you've got the red version as well. The red version looking a little bit different. It doesn't have the black roof. It doesn't have the standalone OEM side view mirrors. It's actually got like the Gander doors, so a little bit different. The wheel setup is a little bit different as well. And the blue and the red has all been released in 18 scale in the past. It's also been released in the 12 scale in the past, believe it or not. So pretty excited to see this in a diecast 64. I did mention that it was about the $25 price range, going up to maybe about the $27, $28. And I'm hoping that this does not degrade the quality perspective of IG 64 scale diecasts. But this is only a start to the many 64 scales that we will probably be seeing. All sorts of color variants, all sorts of different castings. And I think for the most part, Ignition, I don't know if they're going to be going through their old castings or not. If that's the case, then we may revisit a lot of the stuff that we've seen in the past. Hopefully not. Hopefully some really cool, unique renditions of it, at least if they are going to reuse that tooling. But I'm excited, and like I said, if you need some, pre-order some, the link will be down in the description, and I will see you guys in the next video.